What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And I don't know why it took me so long to review this, because I saw it such a good bit ago. I think I saw it on its opening night, I think. No, I saw it on the Thursday before its opening night. And that is Spiral from the Book of Saw. Why did it take me so long to get around to reviewing this? I have absolutely, positively no idea. And this isn't even one of those videos that you've seen on the channel recently, where it was like, oh yeah, this was where it's not a lot of the videos that you're gonna see, the reviews that come out recently or before this video or whatever, like those were recorded way in advance and just not got uploaded. No, this one actually took me forever to get around to viewing. I saw the movie the day before it came out, and it is currently July 14th as of recording this. So it's taken me a long while to actually get around to reviewing Spiral from the Book of Saw. And with the hype for me, this is one of my most hyped up movies for 2021, because it was supposed to come out last year, but then obviously pandemic happened and pushed it to this year. Still was weirded out by this release date of June. I think I should have went with a Halloween release date for the stick with the, but maybe because this is a very different type of Saw movie. Unlike most of the other Saw movies I've reviewed, I can review this one differently, because when I go to review a Saw movie, I usually get like really confused on what to say about it. Because I'm like, okay, what can I say about this one that I didn't say about the others? Because even though I think differently of each Saw movie pretty much, but when I go to review them, I wind up saying the same things, which is a really, really weird thing for me, because I love this franchise, even with some of the duds that this franchise has thrown out, with one of those duds being Saw the Final Chapter. But with Spiral, it successfully is a spin-off, but also still feels like a Saw movie. And is definitely one of the better ones in the franchise. The fact that this movie even exists is completely insane to me, because the fact of why it exists and who pitched the idea. Obviously, so what's the movie about, obviously? Well, murders start coming up in the style of Jigsaw's murders and everything, and whoever's is doing it seems to be going after cops, and so it's kind of a story that you kind of expect to see what's going to go, but also in a pretty good twist and everything that happens. There's some good twists in this movie. Some of the stuff is, the more you look at it, it's a little more obvious and a little more formulaic, especially for a Saw film. But definitely isn't as like, okay, these are the Saw movie. It is a very different Saw movie. But like, let's get to the goods. Obviously, Chris Rock does really good at carrying this movie. He has some comedy bits, but he's also good at taking it seriously, and like you're actually enjoying and want to see what's going to happen with him and his character. He really holds the movie really well. He carries this movie very well. Samuel L. Jackson in this is such an enjoyable role, and a lot of the side cast is pretty. Even though they're pretty forgettable, they're like not crazy. They're not, and the traps are also really nice. Like, even though there's not that many, even though it's not, there's not that many of these of the traps, they're still pretty unique, especially to this franchise. Like, I like how different some of the stuff is. And one thing that's the reason why it took me so long to see it, because when I first saw it, I didn't know, I enjoyed it, but I didn't know what to think yet. I found out that the movie came out on digital really fast. It's not even out on Blu-ray yet. But it came out on streaming really fast, so I watched it again with a group of friends, and my thoughts are still like I said. And then I finally watched it a third time in theaters the weekend I went to Comic-Con, and I actually think this is one of my favorites in the franchise. It's up there with like Saw 2 and 3, which are probably two of my favorites in the entire franchise. I was scared going into it. I was excited, but I was scared going into this film, thinking that we were going to get a very different Saw film. And there it is, like, and let's get into some of the negatives. This movie does fall into some cop movie or cop story cliches, like, oh, you get a partner, there's no one on the force I can trust, crooked cops. And also there seems to be a commentary on the police system and police brutality and things like that in this movie, and police abusing their power and lying and that. And obviously it doesn't feel like it's being hammered in as much as you would think, but also it's definitely there, especially around a little bit at the end, which at the end is a good twist that I really did enjoy. This movie that I did love is the color of this movie. Like, this movie's not afraid of color. I believe, like, James A. Janice said this. James A. Janice and his girlfriend, or his fiance, they said this in their video. This movie's not afraid of color, which is so good, because it gets those green lighting at points that are very much a part of a staple of the Saw franchise at this point, which is freaking amazing. Which I love to see that this movie was able to get that feel. And some of the practical effects look really good. I don't know how much digital was used. I imagine there was some digital, but don't quote me or anything, but I imagine there's some digital in this. But from what I can tell, the effects look pretty decent. There's some pretty unique traps. I guess I can give away the tongue one since it was released online. The tongue trap was very interesting, which I don't think was really survivable, in my opinion. But the movie definitely has some strong and weak points. Like, definitely when it gets too much into the cop stuff at some points, but also at the same time you get what the movie's trying to go. It's going to be a very different Saw film, and I even see where they can pick up and go for another movie in the future. It's like a Saw 10th movie in the franchise has already been greenlit, and I don't know if that's supposed to pick up with the main franchise, or if it's supposed to be part of the or it's going to be part of the original story. I don't know. But also, another thing I want to point out: the movie takes place during a heat wave. Like, in the movie, there's a heat wave going on, and the movie helps you see that. Like, you can tell by the lighting, the way the characters look, and the sweat. Like, you can tell these guys are in a heat wave, and it's really nice. It's shot well. Now, I feel like I'm praising this movie, but the movie does have some issues that most Saw movies get. Like, if you're not into the whole torture and all that, the kills are not the best in the franchise. I don't think any of these traps I would say are my favorite of the franchise, or these kills or anything. But I did enjoy watching this movie and having the fun that I did have with these characters, with this movie, and I had fun. So I have to give this movie a solid 4 out of 5. I'm sorry, it wasn't much for me to hate about it. It could be the biased Saw fan in me, but doesn't look at the because there is cliches like in the, and it does weigh the movie down a bit. But I guess since I'm just such a biased Saw fan, I do like this movie, and I've got to give it a 4 out. I don't think it's amazing or anything, but I do think it's one of the better movies in the franchise. So that's all I gotta say for this review on this movie. What did you guys see? Did you guys see Spiral from the Book of Saw? Have you seen it yet? Are you gonna watch it? I think it's still playing in theaters. And also it's on digital if you haven't seen it yet. It's also coming out on Blu-ray on the 20th, which I will be picking up a copy of that. So I'll have all the Saw movies on Blu-ray finally. And I'm just so excited to see what this franchise has to hold in the future. I do have another horror movie review coming up, and a couple other movies that I've recently seen. We recently saw The Forever Purge, Luca, Boss Baby, Family Business. So I've got some more reviews to do. And then the thing is, I still have to watch Raya and the Last Dragon, and I have some movies that still need to be reviewed. I still have movies from last year that need to be reviewed. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!